So this week was about the flipped classroom. So if I look over here at our summary of readings, so the first reading was about defining flipped classrooms, and so it's a pedagogical strategy where lessons and homework are online. So basically a majority of the actual learning occurs digitally, and then class time is used for problem solving, collaboration, and groups. And then this article also talked about how it's kind of the best of both worlds since it's combining constructivism, where students are constructing knowledge like at their own pace and under their own circumstances, as well as problem-based learning, which is what's happening in the class with those like group projects. And then the second article was talking about how class time would be used for practice. So the lectures would be online, followed by a quiz. And then when they get to class, they're separated into small groups, and how it increases collaboration and focuses truly on the hardest thing being done in class. But it did propose some of the problems with it about how some students don't want to learn at home, and they can't ask questions during the lesson while they're learning at home. So that could be a problem. And then for the videos, the first video also just got into flipped classrooms and was talking about how homework would actually be in class in this case. So like the lectures were at home, homework is in class as well as a task, and how its effectiveness is just as good as kind of like the traditional way learning has been done. And previously activities usually get cut short in class because they have to make up all the lecture, whereas with a flipped classroom, you can do longer activities and just have more class time spent on that. And then the second video, the PBS one, was talking about how it saves time. So because teachers can record the videos or refer students to already recorded videos, it saves their time, and then students can rewatch it, and then teachers can really focus on coaching and teaching rather than like lecturing. And also it talked about like the benefits of the flexibility for students can watch it wherever and whenever. And then the third video discussed briefly again like all the main points of a flipped classroom, how you have a teacher for 6 periods a day delivering the same lesson over and over, whereas in this case they film it once and then they can use it for years to come. And then students are doing the same homework problems, all of them, so it changes the structure from learning to studying at home to studying at home and learning in the classroom. And it just allows students to learn at their own pace, and it creates a richer learning environment in the classroom, since in the class students can help each other with the task as well as their homework, so it'll increase like peer-to-peer interactions. And then teachers can also see like who really needs help and form more small groups. My reactions to the readings. The flipped classroom one, it made me reflect and think a lot about my college classes. So a lot of my classes, especially since some of it was post-COVID, our teachers would just send us the lectures they'd already recorded during COVID. We'd watch those, and then class time was kind of treated as office hours where we'd go in with questions or work on some problems together. And it did just make it a lot more digestible because sitting in a big lecture hall is incredibly boring. And then also it made me think about how this is a good resource for students who like miss a day of school or who have attendance issues. So there's something that they never get behind. And then for the second reading, it did make me think about like what do you do when students don't watch it at home? Like then they do have to spend class time watching it. And then I was wondering too, like, what about students who don't have like reliable internet? What can be done there? And then my reaction to the videos, with the first one, I was thinking about how this would allow for more labs and longer labs, which I really like because that's always the most engaging part. And then for the second video, I was thinking that, since it talked about how students can't ask questions, that would be a great time to bring in AI, or like these like AI chat rooms on Magic School to answer questions. And then the third one, the third video, I was still thinking about like the equity of it. It's good that it's a resource, but again, it doesn't help students who don't have a device at home or Wi-Fi. So I was thinking about that.